This is about moving forward by looking back. And 90 years of doing what others are not. It's about open-mindedness to the way things open and setting precedents for presidents. It's shifting the concept of shifting. It's about finding inspiration in the unexpected and people of means who have found meaning in it. This is about marching to the beat of a different drum and being an audiophile's dream within a dream. This is about making genius look simple and making noise by being quiet. It's about big ideas with smaller footprints and seeing more of the world because there is so much world to see. This is about going places others aren't. Introducing the Lincoln Motor Company.
In 1917, a company named after Abraham Lincoln was founded by Henry Leland, a former manager of the Cadillac division of General Motors. The first source of revenue for this company was assembling Liberty aircraft engines for World War I. After the war, the focus shifted to manufacturing luxury cars. In 1922, Lincoln was bought out by the Ford Motor Company, but still operated as a separate entity until 1940. In April of 1940, the Lincoln Motor Company became the Lincoln division of Ford when they dropped the Motor Company from Lincoln's name. In 2012, Ford reorganized the Lincoln division, going back to its original name, and gave the division a unique design, product development, and sales team to differentiate the Lincoln vehicles from their Ford counterparts.
Lincoln is trying to position its brand name into the luxury automobile niche, competing against others such as BMW, Mercedes, Cadillac, and Lexus, all of whom are known for their luxury vehicles. With the Lincoln MKZ, Ford had officially entered uncharted territory, competing against other luxury hybrids. Lexus is already a well-established name in the hybrid sector, with such models as the CT hatchback. Its price tag is $29,000, and it has the honor of being the only vehicle in the luxury market that tops a combined MPG of 40. Cadillac is making moves into the luxury hybrid market as well, with its all-new 2014 ELR model, which will be the brand's first extended-range plug-in. Cadillac hasn't yet released what the price tag will be on it, but most expect it to be around $50,000. BMW had been going for sheer power with their turbocharged active hybrids. The turbocharged active hybrid 7, the 2011 model, boasted the fastest accelerating hybrid sedan in the world, going 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds. The 2013 model, however, switched to a 6-cylinder hybrid system, increasing the time, but also increasing the combined miles per gallon to 25. The BMW X3 is a luxury SUV competing against the new Lincoln MKX, both of which are in the $40,000 range. BMW improves on the previous power unit that won Engine of the Year 6 times by adding a twin-scroll turbocharger. The Mercedes GLK luxury SUV offers a few unique features, one of which is the fuel-saving Eco Start-Stop system that automatically shuts off the engine at stoplights and other idle situations. As soon as the driver lets off the brake, the engine instantly restarts for immediate acceleration response. This SUV, coming in just under $50,000, also has one of the first systems of its kind in the Attention Assist, which continuously monitors different parameters of driving behavior and can automatically alert the driver with visual and audible signals if it detects signs of drowsiness on long trips.
Alright, here I am sitting in the 2013 Lincoln MKZ. I just want to talk about a little bit of the inside of the car. What makes Lincoln different from its competitors is they provide top-of-the-line products that are customizable for each of the customer's needs. The sync system, which was created to please the customer by having, basically take multitasking to the next level. You have your navigation system, your radio, your touch, you have touchpad for your heated controls right here. And if I turn the car on, they'll pop up right here. You can check your stocks, you can check your sports scores, you can even call your mom if you want to while you're driving your car. And all that can be done right here at the steering wheel with the push buttons. You can say voice activated, I want to call mom. Call mom. I'm just going to call mom. On top of that, we have rain detecting sensors on the windshield that are able to maximize the convenience and safety for the driver. When the sensors detect moisture on the windshield, they automatically activate. They determine how fast to clear the way so you can focus and remain on the road. Many innovative technologies are also created for the family-oriented customer. There's a rear view camera in the back of the car as well as there's sensors around the car where basically if you get too close to someone or something, the brakes are going to automatically be applied. That's just something that they're wanting to aim towards the family-oriented customer and make it more safe. The rear view camera transmits an image of the space directly behind the vehicle to the rear view mirror, which is right here, or on the 8-inch monitor or the 8-inch touchscreen. You can actually get an optional feature where you can have a little mini monitor up in your rear view mirror as well. There's many options along with this vehicle. You can get, there's a panoramic roof option on this and the MKT and the MKS too. And on top of that, we can have a DVD entertainment system and even a little cooler back here. So all of this right here is just ways of making the customer more happy. They want to open up, make it more of a family car, more headspace, for chauffeuring people around, if you will. And at the same way, we want to be able to go for the young crowd and also the family-oriented crowd, because going for the young crowd with Lincoln, that was part of their new plan. They want to pull the customer in while they can early in their life and keep them there long term. That's what Cadillac, which is our main competitor, has been doing with the Escalade. They've made that a very cheap SUV with a lot of differentiated features. And the inventory problem that Lincoln has been facing since the redesign of their company was more of an implementation problem, where the problems arose in their new areas of value creation in the 2013 MKZ, for the most part. The MKZ is supposed to be the poster child for the new Lincoln Motor Company, which was shown in the Super Bowl ad that we saw this year, and it was basically, they're trying to go for more Abraham Lincoln aspect of the company. They want to go back to the old days, like the 60s and 70s, where they had high luxury, high class vehicles. This was considered an early marketing push because the inventory was low in the production facilities and at dealerships, as well as production was halted in Flat Rock, and the integration part of the radio, the backup camera, the sensors, it has a shifterless, the shifterless paddle wheels were not working correctly either. All of this was a problem when they put out this ad. Lincoln remains 8th in sales in the luxury market. By spending all this money on the Super Bowl ad, it was over $1 million. They've never put out money for an advertising commercial in a big game like this when they've been posting losses. Ever since the bailout with Ford, GM, and Daimler Chrysler, Lincoln has not made profit. This is another reason why the marketing push had to be done. On the other hand, though, for them to do this marketing push, they had to have the supplies and the vehicles ready to take that on. Sales have dropped 25% model-wide, according to Bloomberg magazine, since the airing of this Super Bowl ad. Lincoln was the only luxury car brand that it's pushing for good fuel economy also. Hybrid technology does exist in 4 of its models, in which they are redesigning in the next 3 years as well. I'll mention that later. An aspect that relates to the redesign and implementation of the MKZ was to bring back the popularity the automaker had when the Lincoln Town Car was in use, years ago. This was before Cadillac stole the market. Limousines and government vehicles were basically what Ford was aiming the MKZ towards. They want to stretch out the back seat, give more headroom and more legroom for people being chauffeured around. Using a differentiation strategy, they use certain technological advances and user-friendly features to give the driver more attention to the road. Turning back the clock is what it's said by the executives at Ford, and it's the main brand change that Ford wants consumers to see, the new Lincoln. A flaw with this technique, though, is that the consumers have not seen the actual value creation. They don't compare it to the high price of the vehicle. This is hard when you're trying to aim your vehicle at young buyers as well, because the young buyers look for little things like that. We were meant and we were raised to be thinkers. And when you look at a car and you compare it to its generic base model car, and it looks about the same, minus leather seats, a touchscreen radio, and push button features, the user doesn't really find a whole lot of value out of that. But when you actually sit down and think about it, having the safety features that say this car does not have, and a year newer, looking at the front end, the headlights, the sensors, the rear view mirror, all of this is safety features for the car. And I'll tell you one thing that a lot of people don't know, in the 2013 MKZ, the seat belts have airbags in them as well. So if you get into an accident, you're protected that much more. By using online customization features through Lincoln.com, it's possible for the customer to video chat with the sales rep while choosing the options they want on their new vehicle. The sales rep can actually give them, definitions and what everything will do and how much it'll cost before the customer even purchases the vehicle. This has increased the demand for the products through web technologies and customization, and also gives the buyer more of a relaxed and less pushy feel when purchasing a vehicle, as you would notice when you go to the dealer lot and you may be surrounded by sales. We can also point the blame, though, to demand. New automobiles being purchased by people in America it's not part of our culture anymore. Everyone's moving towards buying used vehicles and trying to save money in their pocket by fixing them up. The goal of the advertising push was to gain more of a market share back from competitors like Lexus, Cadillac, BMW. Ford and Lincoln are not concerned with being number one in volume, but they're more looking to be more of a different, personalized, warm, non-Type A, as you could say, design vehicle. And this comes right from the CEO. A different brand, the new Lincoln Motor Company.
Part of Ford's new growth strategy is to establish Lincoln as a global luxury automotive brand. The first step working towards this goal is to enter the Chinese market. The idea is to offer a rich and unique heritage to China's fast-growing industry in luxury car marketing. Lincoln will provide the personalized brand experience for the affluent Chinese customers by seeking a luxury experience tailored to their specific needs. Lincoln is hoping to create a niche in the market in China and have products for their personal experience rather than as objects to simply show off with. To differentiate itself, Lincoln plans to offer tailored services to their customers as well as a focus on technology and unique product. Ford Motor Company is building 5 new plants in China, including in Xinguang, which is home to the largest manufacturing location by Ford outside of southeastern Michigan, in Flat Rock. Once completed, the plants will double the company's capacity in China to 1.2 million passenger vehicles a year. Expansion in China will establish Lincoln as a brand with global appeal. This will help Ford's objective in expanding into countries such as Asia. New Lincoln products will begin to be sold in China in the second half of 2014 through an independent dealer network. The company begins meeting with its dealers interested in being part of Lincoln's growth into China in the fourth quarter of this year. This is a very important move for Ford that must be executed properly because of the luxury segment in China is forecast to surpass the luxury segment in the United States by 2020. The move will represent the largest expansion of Ford brand in half a century. The goal is to establish an independent dealer network for Lincoln that will offer a new level of personalized service that are not offered by the rivals.
Lincoln is not concerned with being number one in volume. They're looking to be a differentiator instead. Lincoln plans on continuing to create innovative technologies that will help fulfill every customer's need. They will continue their way of gaining loyal customers by targeting people who are not looking for a Lincoln, but a different brand of luxury vehicle. Lincoln wants to be different. Differentiator. A Lincoln specialist would deliver a vehicle to their home or work, demonstrate the product, and ask them to take a survey about their opinion of Lincoln. People have said that being part of a program will definitely influence their next vehicle purchase. They will also further research and development on the hybrid market. Lincoln is also entering the hybrid market in the growth stage of its life cycle, so further improvement and efficiency is expected. As we can see right here from this is a 2012 Lincoln MKZ. It still has hybrid technology, but it follows a little different body style. They've just redesigned it this year in 2013, and we're looking to aim more towards the younger market still. And you will find just as many differentiated features on this car as you will on the 2013 that I was just inside a minute ago. But it's still the same car, same engine, same fuel economy, same great Lincoln Motor Company.
In conclusion, I want to remind you that Lincoln started off as a company without a future in sight. Bought out by Ford, a new style of vehicle was created during using differentiation technique. Ford capitalized on this purchase because it gave them the capabilities to use the already produced generic model of vehicle to sell to a new market. Today, Lincoln focuses on cost leadership differentiation strategy. They have recently remodeled 4 main models and have added hybrid technology to these said models, as described earlier. By their lack of market share since the mid-1990s, Lincoln has faced a tough time coming back to where they once stood. By the new advertising techniques, model design, and target market, they hope to come back from this deficit. The forward-looking scope to give Ford's cars and SUVs a more luxurious feel with great gas mileage and a low price will hopefully push ahead the talent and ideas that Lincoln has to offer. They do this with an edge on the vehicle industry by bringing luxury to the table, and in cohorts with the federal government can gain you substantial tax refund too. The new Lincoln Motor Company.